Hello, Mr. A and my fellow classmates. My name is Angela McNair, and I'm doing a presentation on the bones of the skull. And today, before I even start my presentation, we had to show a list of the words that Mr. A gave us. Here is the list. Okay, the list is put away. Also, along with my presentation, I have a volunteer that will be assisting me in my presentation, and his name is Mal. So, hello, Mal. Hello. Okay. I'm going to name 30 parts of the skull. Let's get started. First off, you have your frontal bone. In the back, so it'll be easy for you to see as I named, you have your parietal bone. Both of these are your parietal bones. In the very back, you have your occipital bone. This is in the back, occipital bone. To the side, while we have a lateral view, I want to name two bones on the side. First off, you have your sphenoid bone. It's up in here. Also, what a sphenoid bone is, you have your temporal bone, which is back up in here. And where your temporal bone is, we also have a suture in that area as well. And that suture is called your squamous suture. That's up in here. Okay. Along with that, we have a couple of other sutures to the cranial bone. Over the top, you see your coinoid suture. It's over the top. Coinoid suture. You have your sagittal suture. And across the back where your occipital suture, your occipital bone, you have your lambdoid suture that goes across. Lambdoid suture. Alright. We're going to go to your frontal bone. As we look at your facial bones, you have your, right above where your orbital, where your eyes are, you have it's a mark right here. And it's called your supraorbital foramen. Also down where the nose is, below the eye, you have your inferior orbital foramen. Right up in here is your nasal bone. Over to the side, you have your lacrimal bone. Your lacrimal bone. You have your vomer bone, which is the bottom towards your nose. This was a thin bony strip that's in the middle of your nose. It's called the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone. You have your zacromatic bone, where your cheekbones are. Down here is your maxilla. Okay. Right here is your mandible bone. Also, a part of the mandible bone that I wanted to name as well is it's called the coinoid process of the mandible, which is right here where my little screw is. On the side, I want to name the mastoid process, which is here. Then you have a little sharp pointing vampire-like piece that's right here. It's called your styloid process. Alright, we're going to flip mouth over so you can see underneath the skull. Underneath the skull, you have a hole here, which is called your foramen magnum. Also, you have your jugular foramen back here as well, which is right up in here. This is where your jugular foramen, get it where you can see it. Your jugular foramen up in here. You also have your palatine bones. These are your palatine bones that are listed that are up in here. Okay. As we open the top of mouth, the skull, I'm gonna name a few bones that are in here. You have your cristagalli, which is right here, the little short, little pointy little bone, cristagalli. Down over there where the cristagalli is, you have your cribriform plate, which is right here. You have your lesser wing of the sphenoid bone, the lesser wing of your sphenoid bone, which is here. Then you have your greater wing of your sphenoid bone underneath here. The two little dots, little holes you see underneath there are called your orbital canal, your orbit canal. Yeah, optic canals. I'm sorry. These are your optic canals. And this big old little impression that's down underneath there is called your silica tunica. Silica tunica. And I think with that being said, I think I've named all the parts that I need to name for the skull. Thank you for listening and looking at my presentation. And thank you for being patient with using my my dear old friend Miles. And with that being said, everybody goodbye. Say goodbye, Miles. Goodbye.